Good evening and welcome to Two Sides of New York. This is Cross and Reid bringing you another podcast filled with MLB, and obviously the NFL draft was this past week. Got some big picks, obviously, with the Giants and Jets picking early. I think they went separate directions, and who had a good and a bad draft. And then we got some Yankees, Mets, our usual flow of sports news. But first, we're going to start it off with our doofus and congrats guy of the week. And I'll start right off here. My congrats guy of the week is going to be Aaron Boone. Just what he's done with this team. With 13 men on the IL, with the record he has, I think he is the leading candidate for AL Manager of the Year, if you ask me.
You can't argue with that because he's sending out a AAA team when the Yankees are still winning there, and they got it was huge for them getting Gary Sanchez back, and it's crazy. I thought they were going to be done with all these injuries, and now Clint Frazier's on the IL. But they're just still winning games. It's ridiculous.
It's almost like when Judge went down, something in them made them fight, and I feel like they're kind of playing for Judge and all the other injured guys right now, just trying to hold it down and play for them until they get back. And if they're this good right now, I'm stoked to see when these guys come back, because you got Andujar and Hicks coming back within a couple weeks.
Yeah, once they get the core back, you got to watch out for the Yankees because right now, arguably one of the hottest teams in baseball, and with the guys coming back, you got to watch out if you're in the American League.
Definitely, love to see it.
So, going to my congrats guy of the week, we have Peter Alonso. He got his first. Peter Alonso isn't my congrats guy, but an effort for him to get his first career triple. So Ryan Braun was going back to the warning track, looking for the ball. And all of a sudden, he sees beer coming splashing down right on his face, distract him to where he couldn't get the ball. They didn't call fan interference, but congrats, guy, to the guy who I don't think he did it on purpose, but it was pretty clutch for Pete Alonso. It would have been a double. I don't think Brian Braun would have came up with the ball, but it definitely was it. That was what got him to third base. But so congrats, thank you to the guy who did that to Ryan Braun. And I know you think it's classless, but hey, it happens.
Hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate, because if that was a Yankee fan, you'd be like, classless.
Exactly, like that kid. Who's that little kid who caught that reached over to catch the Jeter home run?
What, the one in '96?
Yeah, years ago.
My man.
Yeah. That's what, do you think that's what launched the Yankees dynasty right there?
I don't know. I mean, went on to win 5 world championships over the next 15 years after that. So
who was the right fielder? Who was the right fielder? He was pissed.
I don't know. It might have been Eddie Murray. No, I don't think it was Eddie Murray.
But the manager of the Orioles was Davey Johnson, and he was
livid.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll get into your doofus but my doofus is Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah,
guy has a 6.53 ERA. All off season, he's talking. Oh yeah, I'm Thor. I got that nasty fastball. Oh, I'm the best pitcher in the game.
Can't even talk the talk.
He's saying how the Mets organization is this and that for not signing DeGrom yet, or for going to Syracuse. And he's just come out, and he's been awful. And his post-game interview in his last start, where the defense for him has been shitty, but still, he has a 6.53 ERA. Defense for him has been very shitty, though. But other than that, he's been pitching awful. And he said that the baseballs are feeling like ice cubes to him. It seems like a lot of pitchers are saying that the balls do feel weird this year. But I don't know. You have a 6.53 ERA. I'm sure
guys are teeing off him. Bombs.
He's throwing hard, but he's just leaving it right over the plate. His breaking pitches are flat. Besides from his second start, that was the only start where he was breaking off some good breaking pitches. But he's just leaving things over the plate, and he's like you said, they're just teeing off on him. It's not good, And Vargas. I mean, granted, he's only pitched 8 innings in his last 2 starts. He's been looking like the strongest pitcher in the Mets rotation his last 2 starts.
Yeah, I mean, It's not what you would have thought. You thought DeGrom would have been continuing his dominance, and he was going to be leading that staff, and it's a mess.
Yeah, and I'll get more to DeGrom, which that's scary as well. I'm pressing the panic button, and a guy like Gio Gonzalez, he just got signed by the Brewers,
going back to Milwaukee.
For 1 year, $2 million. And I don't know why the Mets couldn't give him that. I mean, it's a club friendly deal. If he sucks in the middle of the year, you could release him, and it's not going to be a huge cap hit. Like, the Mets should have made that move, but no, we're sticking with our guys, and our guys do have the potential to do well, but they're just not. And we gotta get going somehow.
Yeah, you guys gotta just put it together. Kind of reminds me of the Yankees early last season. Have all the healthy players, but no one's coming through. So you guys just gotta pitching staff can throw up zeros.
It's just our pitching staff and our bullpen isn't coming through. We're hitting, but what we thought our strong suit was going to be is just not
kind
there.
of flip flopped right now.
Oh yeah, for flip flop dramatically.
But going on to my doofus of the week is David Gettleman and John Mara, the New York Football Giants, by selecting what the hell is his name?
I don't even know. I'm just kidding. Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. I was kidding as well. I keep calling him Davis Webb because that's what this is reminding me of. But, like, oh my god! I mean, hey, I'm not bashing the pick of Daniel Jones. I'm bashing the pick of him sixth because the kid might be a good quarterback. You never know, but like,
exactly.
If you're not going to draft the quarterback there, or if you're not going to draft Haskins there, you should have traded the pick for something, or at least drafted Josh Allen. Or one of the defense, or the top player in the draft at that time. It was clear that Daniel Jones was not the number one player in the draft at that time, and it's just typical of the Giants. I mean, what an awful offseason. I mean, how do you trade a once-in-a-generational player for a 17th pick in the draft? I just don't get that, and that's not even your worst move of the offseason. It's clearly mind-boggling, and it's going to keep being rough. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy what the Giants did. Some people may be saying, oh, shit, did Joey Votto just hit a home run? Oh, nice play. Juan Lagares, what a catch. Wow. Juan Lagares made an outstanding over-the-shoulder on-the-run catch. But for the Giants, you could be saying, oh, it's tank for Tua, but it doesn't make sense. Why, even if you're tanking for Tua, why would you get Daniel Jones at this sixth pick when you could have got a good defensive player like Josh Allen, who was available, and then nobody was going to get Daniel Jones in the first round. I mean, they're afraid that the Redskins were going to get him or the Broncos were going to get him, which is flat out ridiculous because he would have gone in the second round at best. There's no way he's going to be a first round. And the Redskins were definitely licking their chops when they saw that the Giants got him so they could get Dwayne Haskins. And it just seems like it's like going to be a disaster for the Giants because what if now Haskins turns out to be a very good quarterback and then you have to see him twice a year?
He's going to dominate the Giants. He's going to be a thorn in our sides for the next 10 years. That's why he smirked. And I just couldn't believe they didn't draft him. I was just like Haskins, and I was like, no, they did not see that. Like, you saw all their faces. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like,
you seen like Haskins when he was reacting to it. He's like, okay, this is how it's gonna be. That definitely lit a fire under his ass. But Daniel Jones, his comparison is to Eli Manning. It was Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champion. That's a great comparison to have, but like. He just doesn't look like a guy who has the composure to be in the NFL. He just seems like, oh yeah. He just seems like a more like doofus version of Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to do that. And it's just, after all this, it just is mind-boggling that you get Peppers, Lawrence, and Simmons for Odell Beckham. That's not okay for an organization to do. It's not. It's not normal. Like... It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that some people think that it's an okay deal for the Giants. They got absolutely fleeced.
Yeah, they really did. I saw this tweet, and it was like the Giants are the only team in NFL history to have 3 first-round draft picks and get worse.
It is. It's unbelievable. Like, Oh,
So
God.
do you see Daniel Jones starting at all this year?
No.
Right? Unless Eli Manning.
According to Gettleman, it could be 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. You
Or
really think Eli
Gettleman
Manning
can go outside and get hit by a car, according to him.
Do you really think Eli Manning could be behind center for 3 years?
Not 3 years. I think this is it.
Yeah,
I think this is it. I think if he has protection, he can have a solid year, but this is it.
Yeah, and Eli Manning, I think best Giants quarterback all time, and you
by
definitely
far.
agree with that, right? By far, sure.
Top 10 quarterback of all time.
Oh yeah, sure, Hall of Famer. But he's gotta do the Giants justice and be like, take one for the team and be like, all right, I had a great run, but you know what? This is it. There's no need for me to come back. We're a young team. We got Saquon. We could build off him. It's no use for me to be here. It's no use for Eli Manning to still play for the Giants. And I feel bad saying it because I like the guy, but and he's a great quarterback. But I think it's his time, and he's just not giving it up.
I wouldn't blame it on Eli. I mean, he's got 1 year left in his contract. They're obviously not going to win now, so let's see if he can do it one more time. Get him some protection.
Yeah. Oh, Giants.
Yeek.
It's going to be rough, but maybe in Saquon's last year of his contract, maybe you'll have it together.
Yeah, maybe, or else we're going to lose him too.
I know, for his sake, because you don't want to see a guy like Barkley wasted.
No, if you're not going to see Beckham finish his career with the Giants, you better lock up Barkley for his career.
Yeah, like a lot like Barry Sanders. He was on the Lions for all those years, and they were a shitty team. That might be. I don't want that to be for Saquon Barkley because he's a once in a lifetime player. Like watching him play this year was so fun. He made with Beckham not playing with him hurt. He just made the Giants fun to watch, and I hope that the Giants do get better for him.
I do too, and then who knows? Maybe the Giants could surprise everyone and end up having a winning season. It's crazy with that things. That's why you can't just totally freak out because you never know what can happen.
No, expect 16 games. Anything could happen. Injuries could happen.
Exactly, but
yeah.
Let's go to the Jets draft pick.
I'm ecstatic about it. Quentin Williams from Alabama. We got him with the 3rd overall pick, and the dude, you just watch his highlights. The dude's a beast. He just clogs up the middle, gets right past the center. Oh, Puig just got hit in the hand. Hope it's broken. Just kidding. It's fucked up. Because I just said that because 5 Mets in the past week have got hit in the hand. Thankfully, they're all okay, but it's about time we got some retaliation. But now the bases are loaded for the Reds, 2 outs. But Quentin Williams, just look at his highlights. The dude is unbelievable. And I loved what he said. He said I went to Alabama. They have a winning culture there. And I see a lot of that with the Jets coaching staff. He was saying how the Jets coaching staff is not a type to take any bullshit or they expect you to go hard every play, and that he feels like the Jets have a winning culture like Alabama, and that's what you love to see. Hopefully, it will translate over with the Jets. But I think our defense is looking really good, along with our offense that is looking pretty explosive.
Yeah, no, it looks like the Jets are starting to put it together. Maybe get a nice run and get back to the playoffs for the first time in a decade. Or almost a decade.
Almost a decade, but yeah, I'm excited about this team. I'm more excited about this team than I was going into the Mark Sanchez's second year. I think this team is way better than that team. Of course, the NFL is a much different league. The NFL is much better than it was back then. But I think the Jets are going to give the Pats a run for their money. I really do. The Patriots, of course, you can't count them out. They're going to have a great team again. But if there's a team to beat them in the AFC East, it's definitely the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets looks like they're putting it together. I don't think any other team in that East will be able to compete with the Pats, so I hope they can give them a run for their own money.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, I think he's going to have a breakout season.
Kind of like Mahomes.
It would be hard to be like Mahomes.
Well, Mahomes had one of the best seasons of all time, so it's like...
Well, it just gets me so... Sam Darnold is a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, of course, he's going to get the more attention because he's more flashy. He's more vocal. But Sam Darnold, he's quiet. and he gets the job done, and he's a much better thrower than Baker Mayfield. I can't wait to play the Browns week 2. That's
get that revenge from last year.
Yeah, we're gonna get that revenge, and I feel like that's a rivalry right there. The Jets and Browns. I feel like we're gonna see that in the AFC Championship a couple times within the next decade.
Yeah, and then everyone's saying, "Oh, Odell's returning to New York." That's not his return to New York.
No, it's not.
Like, people are treating it like it's going to be like that. No, it's not going to be anything.
Let's talk about that. I think it's about time that the Jets and Giants get their own stadiums.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you guys go move down the street.
Yeah. It's if you think back to when we shared Giant Stadium, it was literally called Giant Stadium, and we were playing at Giant Stadium.
This would be the most sick thing ever. Put a freaking huge football stadium in the middle of Manhattan. That would be insane.
Oh yeah, but where? Like, where do you put it?
I don't know.
Or make Madison Square Garden, like put a football field in there.
Yeah, or you should take the football field and push it somewhere else.
Yeah, or rebuild Shea Stadium.
Yeah, that's true. Or rebuild Ebbets.
Yeah, Polo Grounds.
Yeah. Shibe Park in St. Louis.
I was playing at the Polo Grounds in MLB The Show. I can't believe it was 258 feet down the line. You could literally just hit one right off the end of the bat.
Dead center, though.
Dead center. What was it, like almost 500 feet, right?
It's like 550, I think.
Sheesh.
But going back into the draft, Kyler Murray, no surprise, went first overall.
Yeah, no surprise, but a surprise. As in, yes, we expected it, but come on. I get it. Russell Wilson's a smaller quarterback. I get it. It's a good comp for him, like a good comparison. But I just don't see him being a good NFL quarterback. And, of course, it's the biasy of him being short, but I just can't see it. Should have stuck to baseball.
Yeah, he went for the money, and what he claims is his true love. So we'll see how it goes. And, yeah, it'll be able to tell quickly if he belongs in the NFL or not.
For sure, the money was there in the NFL. Of course, you're going to get paid more in the NFL, especially on a first-year deal, than the MLB, because he would have to go through all the ranks and everything. I'm going to root for him because I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't know that especially he's a small guy, and what we saw last year with Josh Rosen, how that offensive line for the Cardinals is absolutely trash. They got Larry Fitzgerald still. They added some pieces in the draft this year at receiver, but that offense, and they have David Johnson, of course. That offensive line just isn't that good, and with Kyler Murray back there, it might be rough for him.
Yeah, it might be rough. He might get roughed up. He's gonna have to learn the Russell Wilson way to scramble, and avoid the hits. But right after he was drafted the next day, no surprise, Josh Rosen was traded, not to the Giants, but to the Miami Dolphins.
I laughed because the thing about Josh Rosen is he had the poor offensive line last year. You look at his stats where he'd complete like 15 passes, but then he'd have like 95 yards passing, which didn't make any sense at all. Also, they were saying he has a bad attitude. I've never seen that he had a bad attitude. All they really said, his coach was like, yeah, he's a really smart guy, which isn't good. How is that not good?
What? That makes no sense.
They're saying how he challenged the coaches and be like, oh, why do I have to do this when I could be doing this? And they'd say that's a bad attitude, which that doesn't make any sense. He's just trying to make the team better. And another thing that they said another thing he said, oh, football is not my number one passion, my number one goal in life, which, I mean, I guess that's a question mark, but I could see where he's coming from, where he's like, okay, yes, I'm an NFL player, but, this isn't everything. And I think this is good for him because he's going to get a chance to play with definitely a better team in the Dolphins. Well, I'm excited to see what he could do.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what he can do against your team and the Pats and see if this run with the Dolphins, if he's a better player, because he looked pretty bad with the Cards.
Yeah, and
fastest player ever to be drafted in the first round and end up on another team, though.
Yeah, poor guy. And Cliff Kingsbury, the Cardinals coach, said a couple weeks before the draft, nope, Josh Rosen's our guy. which is kind of a slap in the face to him.
It's so phony in the NFL. You got once they say, "Oh, we didn't sign Odell just to trade him," then 4 weeks later you trade him. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of the Giants. I actually believed the Giants when they said that, but I didn't believe Kingsbury at all when he said that about Rosen. But yeah, but anyways, the Ryan Fitzpatrick unfollowed the Dolphins on all social media, so I wonder what that means. You think they're going to let him go?
Yeah, it must mean
he's definitely not going to be the starter anymore.
Yeah, it looks like Fitzpatrick is going to be out.
Did you see that interview he did, Ryan Fitzpatrick? Because he came into camp a little chubby, and he was like, as you could see, I put a few pounds on me, but he's like, but I have a good excuse. I have a lot of kids, and we have a lot of birthdays, so I've been eating a lot of birthday cake.
Well, that's no excuse. You need to be an NFL quarterback, so
yeah, right.
I'm being kidding.
Yeah, this is the end of the line for Fitzy. Great run. Played for almost every team.
Yeah, fantastic run. So, how was your week for the Metropolitans?
It's been like how it's been the entire year, up and down. We won the series against the Phillies, which I thought we played fantastic in the first 2 games. We put up runs. Our pitching staff was actually very good. Matt's pitched great. Wheeler pitched great, where he had a game where he hit a home run, and he struck out 10 guys, which was the first time that MLB pitcher has ever done that. Todd Frazier's about to get himself rung live in this game.
Really?
No, they let him go, surprisingly.
They always let him go. I don't know why umpires always give Todd so much leeway. He argues so much.
I know, and Todd is like one of the guys who talk shit about them. Exactly.
So.
Oh, that was a ball, though. They're showing on pitch track. But anyways, it was a good series. We pitched well. We put up runs. And we held Bryce Harper to 1 for 7 with 5 Ks. We held him, and that's what we have to do if we want to beat the Phillies. And we did our job. First 2 games, so we did great the first 2 games. At the end of the second game, so throughout the first 2 games, Michael Conforto got hit, Jeff McNeil got hit, and Brandon Nimmo got hit. So little Jacob Rain with his goggles, he comes out. It's questionable whether he actually did it on purpose or not. Throwing at Royce Hoskins.
That was on purpose. That's as intentional as it gets, Cross.
Yeah, it was. Hoskins did not like it one bit, though.
He threw at the head. That's why. You throw at the noggin. I'm pissed.
I don't know. Jacob Rain just sucks, though. I don't know if he did it on purpose because he's a.
No, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but if the ball comes at my head, I'm gonna be pissed. Like.
Yeah, I guess, but he's still trash, and his location has been an issue throughout his career. And if you look at him, he looks like a nerd. Looks like he would never try to hurt somebody.
Oh, please.
Maybe those innocent-looking guys are always the most scary, though. You know?
Exactly. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I mean, Hoskins, he should have charged.
He didn't do shit.
He didn't do shit, but he did shit the next day. The next day, the game the Phillies won, Hoskins hit a bomb. Well, it wasn't that far, but it was a moonshot. It just got out, but it was a high one. He took his time rounding the bases, a 34-second trot, and in the post game he says, "Oh yeah, don't poke the sleeping bear," which then they went on to lose a couple games in a row after that. So shut the fuck up, Hoskins. It didn't wake anybody up, but. And then they asked Todd Frazier, and Todd Frazier felt as if this is going to spark something else in the other games. So you think we're going to see a Mets-Phillies brawl this year? I do.
I do. I think you're going to see someone get thrown at. I think you're going to see a big fight. I think you're going to see one.
I don't think we're going to throw out Harper. I think we're going to throw out Real Muto.
Real Muto?
Because we have history with him going back with his time at the Marlins. I feel like we're not going to throw out McCutchen. I've been thinking about maybe throwing at him too, but we're not.
Who would want to hurt my man's Kutch? Don't throw at Kutch.
We're not going to start to it. But McCutchen, he's the when Rain threw at Hoskins, he's the only player that came out of the dugout for the Phillies. Everybody on the Mets side came out of the dugout, but McCutchen was the only guy on the Phillies side not coming out, including Harper and Arrieta, who were just staying their bitch asses inside the dugout, which I thought was pretty funny because Arrieta the game before said that we got to wake up, and he was trying to light a fire into the team's ass, and he just stayed in the dugout.
Yeah, Arrieta, Harper, they didn't want anything this early in the season, looked like.
Yeah, but aside from that loss in the final game of the series versus the Phillies, I thought we played well against them, but then we go on and face the Brewers, and it was awful. Jacob deGrom and Noah Syndergaard, absolute stinkers against the Brewers. I'm hitting the panic button on Jacob deGrom. I think he might actually be hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be. The drop-off like this, it kind of reminds me of Luis Severino last year. Best pitcher in the game the first half, and now this season, he can't find it. Giving up bombs, lots of them.
Okay, so deGrom's first 2 starts, he didn't let up a run. And then his next 3, they've all been rain delay starts. They've all been rain delay.
Oh,
maybe that's a factor in it. Maybe.
Maybe.
But, he just hasn't been himself at all.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would be worried, but someone's got to step up, and he's got to get it together really quick if you guys want to continue success.
We're 12-0 when we have a lead past the 6th inning. But when we're behind, our bullpen is just awful, and they just can't keep us in the game. We have an offense that is able to come back from any deficit, but our bullpen isn't cutting it. Besides from Edwin Diaz, who's been perfect on each of his save opportunities, and he has a .93 ERA, the bullpen has been awful.
Yeah, bullpen's been awful, and I don't think they're going to have that best ERA in the league as you predicted.
I predicted that. I'll wear the egg on that one, but no. Besides Diaz, it's just been a shit show. Familia's coming out, can't even throw a strike, getting teed up. Lugo's been decent. Other than that, it's just a shit show. We need some help bullpen wise.
Yeah, you guys just not need some help. Guys just got to step up and do their job.
And in today's day and age in baseball, bullpen is more important than the starting staff. Don't you think so?
I definitely think so, especially near the end of the season.
For sure. End of the season, going into the playoffs, that's what you need. You need a lights-out bullpen. And a couple other Mets news, Peter Alonso hit an absolute tank. Kept us in the game, but we ended up losing. He struck out. Josh Hader is absolutely disgusting. He tops out at 95, which is hard in its own right, but it just looks like it's like 102 coming out of his hands.
It's the rising speed, that's why.
Yeah, and he faced 6 batters, struck out 5 of them against the Mets. Dude is lights out.
Yeah, he's lights out, he's dynamite.
So yeah, the last bit of Mets news is we finally DFA'd Travis d'Arnaud. It's about time. The guy was batting .53 he just couldn't throw out any runner trying to steal for the last 5 years now. You hate to see it. I like Travis d'Arnaud because he was a key part for the Mets in 2015. Looking at him hit bombs against the Cubs in the championship series, you thought this guy was going to be great for years. And then after that, just injuries derailed him. And then when he was on the field, he just couldn't get it done. And that's what happens in this league. If you can't get it done, you're going to be out the door. And I thought his leash was very long. They gave him so many chances. And I told you at the beginning of the year, this is d'Arnaud's last chance. And
he didn't take advantage.
Yeah. Familia just hit somebody.
Are they charging?
No. I don't know why they're not. Huh. I think that was on purpose.
Really?
But, yeah. Anyways, he just couldn't get it done, and as you know, if you can't get it done this league, you gone.
You're done. He gone.
But that wraps up for the Mets right now.
So let's hop on the train and head to the Bronx. So we got the Yankees, my Yankees, hottest team in baseball. And obviously I'm loving every second of it. While we're doing this with a AAA lineup, guys like Urshela coming through, flashing the glove. This rotation is sneaky elite. J.A. Happ has got it together his last 3 starts. James Paxton has just been dynamite. Tanaka's actually been a little shaky, but I mean, I love what this rotation's doing and what they can bring. If they keep you in the game, even with a AAA roster, this Yankee team can hit bombs.
Yeah, the rotation that has to be at the top of the game right now with the lack of major league experience. James Paxton has definitely stepped up to the plate for you guys.
Yeah, James Paxton, and I just left one out. The biggest guys is Domingo Germán. He is filthy.
Yeah, he was a surprise. I thought hard thrower, but I just never thought he'd be. I thought they were going to eventually move him to the bullpen.
Yeah, move to the bullpen, possibly, but that's not what happened. He's a starter, and he's doing a great job. So, more bad news before the LA series. Clint Frazier joins the Yankees injured list all-star team. So, now they have an outfield in that all-star team of Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Hicks, and Clint Frazier, amazingly. That's maybe a Hall of Fame outfield right there.
You got to fire your athletic trainer.
Yeah, well, we got to see if it stays the whole season, because Stevie Donahue, he's been trusted there for years, so we'll see.
I've never remembered. Of course, there's been seasons with the Yankees where they've been fucked up by injuries, but never anything like this that I remember.
No, nothing like this. I mean, last season we definitely got fucked up, but this season it's unbelievable. But it's amazing, and it shows the resilience of this team that they keep winning games, and when they get their team back, they're going to be hard to beat, because they're going to say, oh, hey, we had 60% of our roster on the IL, and we still found a way to do it. So with the full team, there's no way we're going to lose. So
I hate to say it. Here's the difference between the Mets and Yankees. The Mets have been killed with injuries the last couple years. Not this year so far, thank God, but with the last couple years. When the Yankees are injured, somehow they find a way to win. When the Mets are hurt, fuck it. They're not winning.
That's true. That's what I was really worried about. When I saw this, I was like, this is this is not good.
But you guys have proven that you could hang in there with this team, and you got reinforcements coming, in a big way, and Gary Sanchez, man.
Ooh, Gary. I'm going to get into Gary all the way at the end, because I've got a lot to say about the Kraken.
Yeah.
But, He's a cool cat, but I'll praise him in a little bit. But going into the LAA series, did good business. Blew the last game, but hey, still took 3 out of 4. Held Mike Trout in check, which was good. Luke Voigt he hit 2 bombs in the first inning, and he's just been raking it, as well as he got AL Player of the Week today, hitting around 400 with 4 bombs and 8 RBIs, or actually 10 RBIs, I stand corrected, and he's showing that he wasn't a fluke last year, coming up and hitting bombs.
Yeah, he started off very slow. Looks like he's coming around now.
Yeah, he got the average up to 270 now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You think he's not? Yeah, that's showing that he's not just a pure power guy. He could hit for on base like Pete Alonso. Got some good first basemen in New York right now.
Yeah, definitely. Those two are definitely 2 of the best first basemen so far, and I think they're both on their way to the All-Star game if they keep playing like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But also some news: Chad Green got optioned to AAA.
Chad Green's my guy. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate to see it. I like Chad Green. He was clutch, but, I mean, you got a 16.82 ERA. Not going to cut it.
I've been paying attention to the Yankees, but I didn't realize he was that bad.
Not every start he was just giving a bomb, or not start, relief appearance, he was just giving bombs. So, and he's doing 3 innings apiece down there in AAA, so I think they might be trying to make him a starter, as he originally was supposed to be.
You think? Chapman, wasn't he originally supposed to be a starter with the Reds?
No, they tried to do it a little, and he was just like, this isn't me, bro.
And they said, fuck it. He said, fuck it. But yeah, you guys have the depth. Well, with Betances being hurt, your bullpen's still pretty good, so I guess you could
it's
afford...
lethal. It's really the piece that needs to start putting together is Zach Britton. I mean, he has outs in, pieces of innings that look like his 2016 self, where he had one of the best closing seasons of all time, but he just loses the zone, and he just can't have it.
That Astros series a couple weeks back, I think that hurt him a bit. I think that like fucked with his head a little bit.
It fucked
Rosario
with his head, but
oh no, he didn't.
But hey, after that Astro series, we turned the corner.
Yeah, as Boone said.
As Boone said, he was right. We were close to turning the corner, and everyone was giving him shit, but he was right.
It was a little. I think it was after the Royals series he turned the corner.
Well, I mean, we took 3 or 4 of that Royals series.
True. But yeah, you guys are winning.
We're winning, dominated, absolutely destroyed the Giants this weekend, and
yeah.
I'll get into it now. Gary Sanchez hit probably 2 of the most mammoth home runs, and I think it's official that it is not even close that he is the best catcher in baseball.
It's a long season.
I mean, no one hits like Gary. No one has an arm like him. He hasn't given up a pass ball all season. I mean, he calls a brilliant game, as J.A. Happ says. He calls a great game, as I think it's easy to tell. He calls one of the best games in baseball. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think Gary Sanchez is the best Yankee catcher since Thurman Munson.
Oh, really?
I do.
Better than Jorge Posada.
Yeah, he's a way better hitter than Jorge. Much better.
Okay.
Maybe Jorge was a little better behind the dish, but he didn't have Sanchez's arm, and
you realize that is a bold statement, saying that Gary's better than Jorge.
Not really. I mean, Gary Sanchez has come out and had one of the best hitting careers of all time within his first. So
if you were to poll Yankee fans, do you think they'd also believe that, as of right now, that Gary Sanchez is better than Jorge Posada was?
It depends what fans. The older fans might be like,
well, yeah, of course the older fans are gonna be like, no. Jorge.
I mean, if you look at the stats between their first 5 years, Gary Sanchez has had a 10 times better start. Well, no one has had a start to their catching career like Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge are the 2 quickest players to hit 60 home runs, and you don't see catchers just clocking home runs like that.
Yeah, the power numbers from the catcher spot. What Gary Sanchez do? You haven't seen that since Mike Piazza.
Exactly, and also Gary, when he's on, he's not just a power hitter. He can spray it the other way, hit it in the gap, and I said this before. I think Gary can hit 300 if he really is locked in for a long period. I don't think he can do it every season, but I think he can have an MVP season and do it.
This isn't just for Gary, but do you think if you focus more on the aspect of, okay, I'm gonna try to hit for a higher average, do you think you'll hit less home runs, or do you think home runs just happen? You know what I'm saying?
I think home runs just happen. If it was Gary's case, if he hit 300, I think he's hitting 40 to 50.
Well, yeah, with big guys like Gary Sanchez, Pete Alonso, Stanton, Judge, of course they're going to run into home runs, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're seeing with the new age power hitters like Pete Alonso, Luke Voigt. They know they have the power to hit the ball out, so they're just trying to spread the field, because they know they'll run into a lot of home runs.
Yeah, they know they're going to start cranking out home runs, and it's fun. I love seeing this from Gary. After seeing what he went through last year, this really warms my heart to see Gary just absolutely shutting all the haters up.
It's like I said, he's doing very good right now. It's still very long season.
I know, but I mean, he's obviously not having that season he had last year.
Yeah, he has 8 home runs right now, right?
Yeah, he had 18 last year.
He missed what, 2 weeks?
Last year or this year?
So far this year.
Just 10 days. Just 10 days. Yeah.
So I mean, he could be around 12 home runs up there at the if he hadn't missed those 10 games.
Exactly, and he's still in the top in the AL with home runs. So I think you're going to see a nice bounce back season for Gary, and who keeps continuing how he's hitting now, an MVP season.
Yeah, so it should have disaster written all over you for your fans, with the Giants making stupid picks, with the Yankees, all their injuries, but the Yankees, they're keeping you in there.
Yeah, they're keeping me in there, and if we get healthy, I think we got it.
Yeah, and the Red Sox, they're an absolute shit show.
Oh, yes. Oh, Chris Sale, 0-5. He's just looking awful, and I don't know.
Are they the biggest surprise for you this April, the Red Sox?
They have to be.
They are for me too.
They have to be. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I thought they would be like a wild card team coming into the season just because they did not improve at all, as I said, all off season.
The Rays series, I thought, okay, maybe they'll be turning the corner, sweeping them, but since then, it's just been a shit show. Like you said, Chris Sale, he's stunk. But I also have another crazy stat right here. It's about the so-called aces in the Major League Baseball. They're all struggling. So it all started off with Noah Syndergaard. We talked about him. His ERA at 6.35. Awful. Chris Sale, ERA 6.30. Carlos Carrasco, 5.86. Corey Kluber, 5.81. Jacob deGrom, 4.85. Garrett Cole, 4.71. Madison Bumgarner, 4.30.
Oh, we rocked Mad Bum.
Yeah, I saw that. And Max Scherzer got a 4.12 ERA. All the stars, all the Cy Young candidates struggling. Is it the baseballs?
I don't think it's the baseballs. I just think last year was a year of the pitcher, and this year is going to be a year of the hitter.
I don't know. I kind of want to say it's the baseball.
I don't know.
I know this might be like, a little like douchebag, like kind of like, it's the baseballs, that's why my pitchers suck. But I went to a spring training game this year, and I got one of the balls, and they feel significantly different. Like, it's hard. Like, granted, I have small hands. I'm not a major league pitcher, but it just feels like compared to the other balls that I've got from past years, I just can't really get my fingers on the ball. Like the other two balls I have from major league games, they're fine. And like somebody that said, it kind of feels.
Sorry for the brief interruption. We had a technical breach, but we got it now. But now going into a little player rivalry with the Indians and the Astros. So Trevor Bauer trolled a gem against the Astros. I believe it was Friday night. And Trevor Bauer posted a little video on Twitter saying, "Hey, little buddy," adding Alex Bregman, of course. Did I dominate you last night? And he just has his bobblehead shaking up and down.
Yeah. He won that battle, but Trevor Bauer is just a weird guy.
He's a weirdo, isn't he?
Yeah. There was this article. Let me get it up, where he talked about his rules for dating, where he says
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen it, and he was saying like how he doesn't want any he wants no feelings and no public affection with his girls. And he's an ugly guy. I don't think he's the type of guy to be like demanding.
Hell no, he's an ugly weirdo, you know.
Yeah, and hey, but. He's been very good this year.
Yeah, Bregg's been taking those interviews like a champ.
Yeah. What did Alex Bregman have to say about...
He was just like, I'm proud of him that he dominated. Yeah, I'm proud. Like, wow, if he really feels the need to post it on social media, I'm proud of him. And then they're like, so you and Trevor are friends? He's like, no, we're not friends. Like, he said it this straight. He's like, we're not friends.
Yeah, that's a good rivalry in baseball right now.
That's true. I'd like to see them fight. That'd be a good fight.
Yeah, it would be. But
Vladdy Jr.
If they were to throw down Bregman versus 1-on-1, Bregman would definitely beat his ass.
Oh, Bregman's fucking ripped.
Yeah, without question, he'd beat his ass.
So Vladdy Jr. The hype is here. He's here. He's arrived.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'll get into it a little more. I think that he's been overhyped a little bit, but I love seeing those pictures of him when he was a kid with his dad, Vlad Sr.
Me too.
It's great. It's great for baseball having a guy like this.
Yeah, definitely. It's great for the game of baseball. Having a guy like this, who can maybe go on the same career of his father, but we're just gonna have to see over the next 15, 20 years.
Now, do you according to Baseball Reference, he's one of 3 guys that is projected to finish over batting 300 this year. Do you think that's a little too much to have him as one of the 3 only players in baseball to finish to batting over 300?
I definitely think so, even though he's just played a few games and you don't even know how he can hit MLB pitching. But
Exactly. But he's hit every level he's played, he's hit exceptionally well. And of course, you look in the minor leagues, you're playing guys in A-ball who after this they're not going to have a shot anywhere else. So it's hard to say in that case. But you look at his minor league stats, and they are pretty incredible.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible, and his minor league, some of the videos in the minor league is incredible, the way the ball comes off his bat, so I'm excited for his first big league home run.
Yeah, he hasn't got it yet. How many hits does he have? He's only have one hit so far?
Two, I think.
Two? But the Blue Jays, they're an interesting team.
Yeah, they're
for
an
sure.
interesting team. They won't go anywhere because of their pitching situation, but...
yeah, oh, of course. Do you think they'll trade Marcus Stroman?
I would love Marcus Stroman on the Yankees. Marcus Stroman's one of my favorite pitchers in baseball.
I'd love him on the Mets too. He's a great pitcher.
He's a great pitcher, and he's a pretty cool guy. I follow him on social media. He's
New Jersey guy too, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's in the. Maybe he'd want to play for the Mets or Yankees someday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm sure I'll be a free agent one day, but. You got any May predictions?
I think the Padres are going to keep it up.
Yeah, I think the Padres are going to keep it up. I think the Red Sox are going to keep losing.
Fuck, Diaz just let up a home run.
Diaz?
Edwin Diaz just let up a home run in the top of the ninth.
Tie game?
No, 5-4.
Chapman would never.
This isn't the guy that we traded for. Fuck you, Andy Martinado. This is the first bad outing he's had now. Come on.
Did he just tweet that?
No, he tweeted that like a couple weeks ago. But fuck. Yeah, this wasn't a save situation, so he still hasn't blown a save, but come on. Hopefully we'll rally in the ninth. But May predictions, I think Padres are going to keep it going, and I think Bellinger is going to keep it going. So it's going to be fun to watch the National League West.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a bold prediction. I think the Twins are going to get really hot and be in first place at the end of May.
You think so?
I do.
You don't trust the Indians?
I do trust them. I just think the Twins are going to get really hot. I mean, I think they're going to be close, but I think the Twins are just going to go on a tear this month.
Yeah, they're for sure in the market for some pitching as well. If they could find some pitching, that offense is pretty lethal.
It's lethal, but moving on, it's going to be May 1st in a couple of days, and Kimbrel and Keuchel still are going to be unsigned.
Yeah, it's not going to go. They're not going to be signed until June. Until that thing clears where you'll lose a draft pick, they're not going to be signed anywhere.
Yep, they won't be signed, so oh well for them and the teams that might need him. But moving on to Cross reading, we're doing Players of the Week and Month because obviously May is in a couple days, so... Cross, you want to go with your AL Player of the Week?
Yeah, I'll start. I hate to say it, but
woo!
My Player of the Week has to be
Gary.
I hate to say it.
The Kraken.
Luke Voigt did have better numbers in that series versus the Giants.
But that ball didn't look the same coming off the bat.
No, it didn't. He hit those bombs, and you gotta say that he was a spark for the Yankees coming back. With him back now, that definitely lit a fire into the Yankees. He's like, all right, we've been winning without these guys. Now that we have someone back, oh shit, watch out. And I hate to say it, but Gary Sanchez, he's the leader of the Yankees right now.
He's the leader of the Yankees, and I think he has shown some great leadership improvement in this offseason. Just the way he talks to the team, talks to the staff. I think he calls a good game. He showed that he has your back as he beat Miggy and Nick Castellanos' ass for fucking with Romine back in 2017. So I think Gary Sanchez has shown that he's a team player and a great player, and he's part of this new core for the next 10, 15 years.
Yeah, can't argue that because it just goes to show if you have a chip on your shoulder, what you could accomplish. Hopefully, for your sake, that Daniel Jones, he has a chip.
Yeah, I was saying that Daniel Jones had a chip, but going into my Player of the Week, I got Eduardo Escobar from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who he was raking, hitting 480, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. He got on base a lot with an on-base percentage of 533, OPS of 1,573, and he had 12 hits. So he was raking for the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks are red hot as well.
Yeah, I think this is about as good as it's going to get for the D-backs,
Oh,
though.
yeah, definitely. I'm hoping for a nice little 2-game sweep tomorrow and Wednesday.
Remember when Zach Greinke used to be good, though?
I remember when he used to be good, but I think the D-backs now remember how much they have to pay him.
Yeah, a shit ton of money, but hey, he's set.
But, you want to go into your month?
Yeah, my player of the month, Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox. He had that whole thing about spiking the bat, and he did it again. He said, "Fuck you guys."
It hit a walk-off bomb.
Hit a walk-off bomb. His numbers so far this season, been 385, which is phenomenal. 5 home runs, which is phenomenal for a player like him, not known for a power guy. He's just been a spark plug for the White Sox.
He's been a spark for the White Sox. They haven't been winning, but if they have a future, he's part of it.
Yeah, he's making them say, who's this Manny Machado guy?
Yeah, who's Machado? As Machado is struggling out in San Diego.
Yeah, but if Machado gets hot, San Diego could be one of the best teams in baseball.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Hey, I mean, they're playing well right now. All they need is to get.
But I got for my player of the month. At first, I thought it was an eyelash over Yelich, but Bellinger clearly was the best player in the National League and in baseball this first month of the season, and his numbers are pretty fucking incredible. Average 427 first, on base percentage 500, means he's gotten on base half of his plate appearances. First,
Jesus Christ.
Freaking on base percentage is 1,413, first by far. It's tied with Yelich with the most home runs in April ever. Like they both have tied the MLB record, along with A-Rod and Pujols, who did it throughout their career. By far, he's got RBIs 36, and just to top it off, he has the most hits in baseball at 44. So
yeah,
he's raking.
He's playing his ass off. And a guy who is definitely pissed because he was a platoon player last year for the Dodgers in the playoffs. They wouldn't start him every game in the playoffs, and he definitely took that to heart. And he's coming out showing, all right, what are you gonna do? I'm the best. I'm the best player you guys got.
Exactly, he is by far.
And I could definitely feel like a Maguire-Sosa home run race between Bellinger and Yelich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Bellinger and Yelich, wow. Those two are two studs in this game, and they're going to be around for a while.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Christian Yelich.
Pulled his back.
The average, though, for Bellinger, it's just insane. At this point of the season, to have a 421 batting average.
Yeah, 427.
That's something else right there. 427.
Yep.
Sheesh.
So he's on his way to an MVP title unanimously if he continues this pace, but it's a long season.
Two Sides of New York will be back next week.
Yep, we'll be back next week, everyone. Follow me at Two Sides of NY. He's at Metsman19, and fun episode. Catch you guys later. Peace.
All right.